Hello everyone. So I just wanted to show you what I did with these Dollar Tree frames and how I turned them into some ghost portraits. So I just took these frames as is, they were gold and then the black background, and took my black chalk paint and put one coat with my chalk paint brush and painted all over the frame, even that black background where a picture would go. And I painted the edges and make sure that you get in all the little grooves and the creases. And you may have to come back with a second coat here because once it dries, sometimes you're able to see the imperfections. So it dries this really pretty matte color. So then I grabbed my pencil once it was completely dry and drew out just the shape of a ghost. You can freehand this, but I just like to trace it out since it was my first time to see where the white was gonna go. I started with my white acrylic paint, but then I realized that my white chalk paint would cover much better with just one coat, but you could do either because regardless, I ended up doing two coats on both of these. So just fill in your first ghost and then you're gonna let that completely dry, and then you're gonna come back and you're gonna do a second coat. Then I'm gonna grab my French gray color in folk art paint, and I'm just painting the edge just to give the ghost a little bit of dimension, just so it's not just a plain white. So this will just give it a little bit more character, and I am doing this while it's wet. That's very important to know because it'll just blend easier. So I'm using two brushes here. So I'm using the thinner one to put on the gray on the edges, and then I have my wet white paint brush that I didn't rinse off, and I'm going to come back and blend that in all together. So this does not have to be perfect, but it's just going to add, like I said, just a little bit of a character to the ghost, a little shading to the ghost. You do not have to do this part if this is too tricky. It'll still turn out cute, but like I said, it just adds a little something to it. So then once that's dry, I came back and just did two little eyes on it and left it alone. If you want to do a mouth, you can, however you want to do it to your liking. And then with the second one, I followed the same exact steps, but I'm just going to show you again because this may be the trickiest part, is the shading for some of you. So I am showing you the second part again, but this is two ghosts, so it's a little bit different. So I came back with that second coat, and while it was still wet, right away I grabbed my gray and just started outlining just the edges of the ghost, and then you're going to kind of blend it in. So I came back with my white paintbrush and just kind of blended in. As you can see, it's just blending the two colors together when it's wet. And if you get too much gray on it, you can always come back with a little bit more white. And this does not have to be perfect. It just really gives it a kind of a neat look to the ghost. So then you're gonna let this dry and come back with your pencil if you want, or freehand it, and just put the two little eyes in there. That part's kind of simple. And then you're just gonna let this dry. And I also use this black paint because sometimes when you're painting with white on black, you get little drips and imperfections with your paintbrush. So I just touched up some of the little white drips on there. And if you have any spots that come through the frame, you can touch that up. But then you can just find a place for it in your home. And they're so cute for Halloween. It's something unique and different and pretty simple to do. So I really think that you could do this with kids if you want, but I really hope you can try it. And thanks for watching.